Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. I'm Elijah, and this is the program that you're listening to. This is the message that the Lord God has given unto me to give unto you. Um, as found in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6, as I told you before. And also, he told you I'm going to send Elijah. That's found in Malachi chapter 4, verse 6. I'm sending Elijah for the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And shall turn the hearts of the children back to the father. Father the hearts back to the children, he shall come and strike with a curse. The video before this is the first blood. The first blood covenant. Now, this next thing we're going into the covenant, because like I told you, I was listening to Kenneth Copeland, and he was talking about the covenants. And he said the first covenant didn't happen till after Adam fell, until after Adam had committed, well, after Adam and had been disobedient and listened to Satan. But that's not the first covenant. The covenant that we keep is forever covenant. It's a forever covenant that we keep. And another thing is, man, he was talking about the law. Man, well, I can't remember everything. Well, I can't, because I really, when I listen to him, I'm not trying to remember now. Just rebuking them. That's all I'm really doing, because they've been teaching God's children lies for so long, and y'all believe in these lies, but this is a time of consummation. All right, well, that's all I could tell you. It's time of confirmation. So now we're going into the covenants, the everlasting covenant that was made for man, for that was made for us, especially for the children of Israel. And then also I was going into the blessings and the curses. There's a lot of things that he has said, man. My heart is not into that. My heart is into making sure that you know what these covenants are. You got to know the covenants, man. First, two dreams. I'll give you two old dreams. These two dreams I went over with you. At the end of last year, I think these dreams started in September. Let's see, September 28th, so it's been September and November that these dreams were written down. So this is one dream that I had. These black women and black children, Israel. So when you say black, you mean Israel. These black women and black children in our internment camp. The three guards that was walking through these islands or lands, watching them all look the same with different clothes on. See, all of them look like clones and everything with different clothes on. TSA, Homeland colors on. The mom was sitting on the cot. The daughter was leaning on her with her elbows. The guard said, "Cheer up, it's going to be all over soon." I seen these two women dressed up in the Homeland Security uniform standing outside this building. This white came out that dressed like them to touch one on the shoulder. She looks around and sees him, and he walks away. So that's just one dream. See, the retirement camp. I'm telling you, bro, this gonna get worse. You'll say, "Oh man, go ahead on with that." There's another dream I had. The wicked one had came into the world. He was trying to we were trying to defeat him. He was starving all the people. We are living in the land until you get so hungry, then he would come and offer you some food. Then you would eat. Then you would eat, and he turn your world up. Yeah, you would eat it, and he would turn your world upside down. You enter into his world. I was with these men and women, and he was after this little boy, and he was trying but not to let him get him. So we was trying our best not to let him get him. Man, I'm telling you. So that's another dream got had. Now this is another dream coming. Another dream. It's another dream. Okay. I seen this woman look like Roberta, an old neighbor of mine. She was taking about the garage and how she went to pick up something from him. She was talking about Gerald and how she went to pick up something from him. Everybody had on pale green clothes. The man looked like Prince. Finished telling the advent where it happened. This man stopped him and said, "Welcome to your prison." They opened up the door and looked like a garage door, and he walked out. He was so shocked and didn't understand. Oh yeah. So those was dreams, a few dreams I had last year around this time. I was looking for one dream, but I seen the page torn out the book, but I have never taken a book and torn out a page, so I know they do all types of things. I'm not worried about these people doing all this thing, because when the time comes, they're gonna be so afraid. Yeah, when the time comes, they're gonna be so afraid. All right, so let's go on. We go on to the book of Jubilees, because you need to know when the covenant started. People think that the covenant started after these different times. Those are different covenants. So let me read the prophecy to you. We go into the book of Jubilees, and we go in the first chapter, 7 verse. Write all these words for yourself which I spake to you today, for I know their rebellion, their stubbornness, saying unto your offspring, will I give a land flowing. Well, forgive me. You say, write these words for yourself, which I speak to you today. For I know their rebellion, their stubbornness, before I brought them into the land of which I swore to their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto your offspring will I give the land flowing with milk and honey. They will eat and be satisfied. They will turn to strange gods, the gods that could not deliver them from any of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them. They will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them. They will walk in the ways of the Gentile, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods. These will prove to them an offense and tribulation, and sickness and a trap. See? Many will perish, and they will be taken captive. They will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my laws and my commandments, my festivals of my covenant, my Sabbaths, my holy place, which I have made holy for myself in their presence, and my tabernacle and my sanctuary, which I have made holy for myself in the midst of the land, that it should set my name on it, that it should reside there. See? Okay. They will make themselves high places, places of worship and graven image. Each will worship a graven image of his own making. Thus they will go astray. Thus they will go astray. Then they will sacrifice their children to demons and to the errors, and to all the errors of their heart can work. So that's Jubilees, the first chapter. Okay, I mean, every time you start talking about the law of God, this is so important. I'm not worried about no phone. I'm worried about this. It's so important. And then when you go finish reading that, I'm not here to tell you that prophecy. I'm here to tell you when because Kenny Copeland was talking about the covenant, and he said the covenant started when Adam had fell, but no, that's a lie. It didn't start, and then ask him, tell him who told him that, and let him come to me. I mean, you have a comment section that's up there. Yeah, you have a comment section that up there. You have an email. You can email. You do all this thing, and you can say, "Oh man, you lie. You lie. You can do anything." You can put it in there and say, "Man, I don't believe nothing you say." You can put that in there too. You put anything your heart desires in there. Not gonna have effect upon me. It's not. Nope, 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 it's not. All right, here we go. The angel of chapter 2, and the angel of the presence of the Lord spoke to Moses according to the word of the Lord, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how 6 days the Lord God finished all his work and all that he created, and kept the Sabbath on the 7th day and made it holy for all ages, and appointed it a sign for all his work. That's the covenant. But people don't understand that that's the covenant. I'm going to repeat that to you. Read it to you again. It's told, this is telling Moses. The angel of the presence of the Lord spoke to Moses according to the word of the Lord, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days the Lord God finished all his work and all he created, and kept Sabbath on the seventh day and made it a holy for all ages, and appointed it as a sign for all his works. That's the first covenant. I say, oh, it don't say that. I know it doesn't. I know it does, but you say it doesn't. So I'll go along with you. All right. So let's keep on getting. So we're going to go all the way down. It's the second chapter. The second chapter of Jubilees. That's where we're at. But y'all people, y'all still in the Holy Bible. I understand. I understand. But remember, you're in that Holy Bible. You're not keeping God's commandments and God's holy covenant. Tribulation have already started. I mean, this is going to get worse. Jesus told you, say, it's going to get worse. All right. He told you it's the beginning of sorrows. Okay. All right. So we're going down. We're going to start at, we'll start after, we'll start at verse 14. But he also said, I mean, he said the covenant, you might have said the covenant didn't start until after he created man, but that's a lie. That's another lie because, well, after this, verse 14, he created all these three kinds on the fifth day, and on the sixth day, he created all animals on earth and created cattle, everything that moves on earth. After all this, he created mankind. He created man and woman, gave him dominion over all his earth and the seas and everything that flies, over the beasts, over the cattle, over everything that moves on the earth, and over the whole earth, and over all this he gave him dominion. All right, let's get it. Which he had, verse 15, he created these four in the book of Jubilees, second chapter. He created 4 kinds on the 6th day, and it was together 2 and 22 kinds. He finished all his works on the 6th day. That is all that, let's see, that is all that is in heaven and on earth, and the seas and the abyss, and all in the light and in the darkness and everything. See, everything was finished on the 6th day. Everything that's in heaven, on earth, everything was finished. All right. He gave us a sign. See, he gave us a sign. The Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but the Sabbath on the 7th day from all work. The angels of the presence of the Lord, all the angels of the sanctification, these 2 great type of angels, he told to tell us to keep the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. See, the Sabbath is being kept, which is a covenant day that it has been is kept in heaven and on earth. They have been kept in heaven way before it came to earth. Come on, man. Tell you, man. You listen to these pastors, people don't know, man. Why? Because they did the same thing that I did, which I learned from them. When you get, when the sanctification come, and you get there, you go to the church house and say, well, I have arrived. This is the place I need to be. I don't need to go on, keep on reaching out, keep on seeking the Lord God, which is a lie. Well, go ahead. Well, that's how I came to him. And he told, yeah, all right, so, and he said to us, look, I will separate myself a people from among all people. These shall keep the Sabbath day, and I will sanctify them to myself as my people, and will bless them as I sanctify the Sabbath day and sanctify it to myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. And that's us, who he separated us, a righteous people. Man, go read the book of Enoch, chapter 86, I think it is. I have chosen offspring of Jacob from among all that I have seen, and I have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him to myself forever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep the Sabbath on it from all the work. See, that's the covenant day. He created it a sign according to with which they should keep the Sabbath with us on the 7th day. See, with us on, so that's God telling them that they keep the Sabbath in heaven. to eat, to drink, to bless him who hath created all things, as he blessed and sanctified to himself a particular exclusive people above all the people, that they should keep the Sabbath together with us. I got more to it. I got more to it. Let us finish. He caused his command to raise up a sweet odor acceptable before him all the days. These 22 heads represented of mankind from Adam to Jacob. 22 kinds of work creation were made until the seventh day. This is blessed, holy, and the former also blessed and holy. And these ones served with that one for sanctification and blessing. Jacob and his offspring was granted that they should always be blessed and holy ones of the first testimony and law. And even as he sanctified the blessed the Sabbath day and the seventh day. See? The holy ones, the first testimony and the law. Give it to you like the law God had written down. That's how you give it to us. And on the Sabbath day, on the seventh day. So that's the Sabbath day on the seventh day. The Sabbath day on the seventh day. He created heaven and earth, everything that was created in 6 days. God made the seventh day holy for all his works. Therefore, he command on its behalf that whosoever does any work on it should die, that he who defiles it shall surely die. Because of this command, the children of Israel to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not to do on it any work, and not to defile it. For as it's holy than any other day. That's what he did. That's why you're in captivity now. Because you broke it. Yeah, you broke that covenant. That's an everlasting covenant that he made with us. However profane it should surely die. And whoever does any work on it shall surely die eternally. That is the children of Israel made observe this day throughout all their generation, and not be rooted out the land, for it is a holy day and a blessed day. And then we didn't keep it, so we got ruled out the land again, and we was put it in where? In captivity, which we are in now. Okay. Everyone who observe it and keep the Sabbath on it from all his work will be holy and blessed throughout all days, as we are blessed. See? Should be blessed throughout all days as the angels in heaven are blessed. But we broke that covenant. That's a forever covenant that we broke. And that's why these curses and things, that's why we didn't think. Declare and say to the children of Israel the law of this day, that they should keep the Sabbath on it, that they should not forsake it in error of their hearts, and that it is not lawful to do any work on it, and not suitable to do their own pleasure on it, that they should not prepare anything or to be eaten or drinking on it, and that it is not lawful to draw water, bring or take, or through their gates, or any burden which they have not prepared for themselves on the 6th day of their dwelling. They should not bring or take anything from the house to house on that day, for that day is more holier than blessed than any jubilee day of the jubilees. And this we keep the Sabbath in heaven, before it was known to any flesh to keep the Sabbath on earth. Told you, man. Told you that's a covenant. That covenant was kept in heaven way before any flesh kept it on earth. But you listen to the Copelands and all them people, they tell you, well, that didn't start to after that covenant didn't start to after Adam and them had sinned, to after Adam and them came in the world. Keep on. Keep on. The creator of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all people and nations to keep the Sabbath, but Israel alone. Them alone he permitted to eat, drink, and to keep the Sabbath on earth. And the creator of all things blessed this day which he had created, blessing the holiness and glory above all days. This law in. Yeah. So that's what happened. I mean, that was the covenant. Yeah, that's the covenant that kept in heaven, and that covenant is kept on earth. Well, I mean, you don't have to believe in the past or covenant. So now I hope I have went over the two covenants with you, and so hopefully that you find out about the covenant. So that was the first covenant. The first covenant. That's the first covenant. It's an everlasting covenant for who to keep? Everybody to keep. Okay, well let's see. Then he's talking about Father Abraham. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me see. I put it on here. Father Abraham covenant. Okay, let's see. This in the book of Hasher, Jashr. I could have done better for this. I could have went to in the book of Jubilees and stuff. But this is the book of Hasher. At that time, the Lord appeared to him and said, I will make my covenant between me and you, and I will greatly reproduce your offspring. And this is the covenant which I make between me and you, and every male should be circumcised, you and your descendants after you. After 8 days they should be circumcised, and this circumcision must be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. So that's the 8 days. But we know that was not the first blood covenant, the first flesh covenant. We know now that that was not the first. No. And now, therefore, the name should come. Now your name should no more be called Abraham, but Abram. And your wife should no more be called Sarai, but Sarah. For I will bless you both. I will reproduce your descendants, that you should become a great nation, and a king shall come forth from you. So that's the covenant. That covenant was between Abraham and Sarah. It's not between Abraham and Ishmael, Moses, and all the other Moses. Not between them. That's Abraham and Sarah that the covenant day came. And Father Abraham had been keeping the covenant. He'd been keeping the covenant because he went at 10 years old. He went to stay with Father Noah and Father Shem, and he learned the ways of the Lord. That's what he did. And so that's I mean, all I can do is give it to you as the Lord God has given me. So all I'm doing is trying to tell you about these covenants and where these covenants started. And the covenant that we keep, that covenant started way back in the garden. That's where it started. Really started way back, forgive me. It started in heaven and it was sent down to us. That's where it started. And that's the everlasting covenant that we supposed to be keeping, but we broke that covenant. Yes, we did. We broke that covenant. We broke that covenant. So let's go. So we broke the covenant. So let's go. Well, you know, the Lord God given me a lot of things to give unto y'all. But like I said, if I stay here, man, and then y'all attention span is so short, it's not, you know, you have to break out that attention span. And if you see something, because that's the way, man, come on. I have done it too. I have looked on that on YouTube and seen something that's a certain person, something that, and it was over 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I cut it off and don't even know that is probably something very special that the Lord God wanted me to hear. But your attention span is so short. Just like these videos I make 45 minutes or longer. Not too many people gonna listen to them, but that's all right though, because I know God's people. I know God gonna make His people. Well, God gonna put in the ear. Listen to that video. Listen to it. So So he went to Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is still with Kenny Copeland. Now Deuteronomy chapter 28. Forgive me, people from the South have a different, you know how tongues are. So let's go. Let's go to Deuteronomy. And I have read this to you before. So I'm just going over the covenant. You know, just going over the covenant, because this is forever covenant that the Lord God told us to keep. And we broke the covenant, and that's why we are now in the land of the captivity. But like I read that before, and Father Abraham told you about the 400-year covenant. The 400-year covenant is a 400-year covenant, yeah, because God cannot lie. And so the 400 years are up. So that's what's happening now. So we're getting out of this thing. Listen to this before I go there. We're going to Jubilees chapter 40. I just finished reading this to you. And Jubilees chapter 40. I'm just going to read seven verses to you. In the 6th year of the 3rd week of the 49th Jubilee, fled and went and to live in the land immediately 5 weeks and 1 day. We returned to Egypt the 2nd week in the 2nd year in the 15th Jubilee. You know what he said to you on Mount Sinai and what Prince Mastema, that's the devil, desired to do with you when you return to Egypt. Did he, Mastema, do seek to kill you, and with all his power and deliver the Egyptian from your hand, when he saw that you were sent to execute judgment or to take revenge on the Egyptian? But I deliver you out of his hand, and you perform the signs and wonder which was set before you in Egypt against Pharaoh. He's talking to Moses. And against all his household, against the servants of his people. The Lord exact a great vengeance on them for Israel's sake, and struck them through the plagues of the blood, frog, lice, dog, fly, malignant birds, breaking out of pestilence, the death of the cow, the plague of hailstorm. He destroyed everything that grew from the plagues of the locusts, which devoured the remainder and left by the hail and by darkness and by the death of the firstborn of men and animals. The Lord took vengeance on all the idols and burned them in fire. And we know that that's going to happen again. But let me finish reading to because I want to get to the covenant. Everything was sent through your hand that you should declare these things before they were done. You spoke with the king of Egypt in the presence of all his servants and the presence of his people. Everything took place according to your words. 10 great and terrible judgments came on the land of Egypt, that you might execute vengeance on Egypt for Israel. Not over with yet. And the Lord, we're going to say 7 and 8. And the Lord did everything for Israel's sake according to his covenant. See that? And the Lord did everything for Israel's sake according to his covenant, which he had ordained with Abraham, and he took vengeance on them because they had brought them by force into bondage. Prince Mastema stood against you and sought to deliver you into the hands of Pharaoh, and he helped Egyptian sorcerers when they stood up and committed the evil acts they did in the present. Indeed, we permitted them to do the work, but the remedies we did not allow to be worked by their hand. So so that's what's going on right now. Because everything the Lord God had, well, I mean, there are other things the Lord God had shown me I haven't told you yet. But a lot of destruction and everything I have told you. And those things are going to come to pass. Why? Because of the covenants that he had made with us. Yeah, through Father Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, our father, before them, our father Enoch, Noah, Father Shem, our father Adam. So all these are covenants that the Lord God have to keep, because they're covenants that he made with our ancestors, as they say. Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. And all these, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of thy God. See, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee. See, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of God. And so when you say overtake thee, it means that you're not doing them now. And even if you will stop doing them, you start back doing them, then they'll overtake thee, and all the curses and everything that's on you. What? The blessing will overtake them. Blessings shall thou blessed shall thou be in the city, blessed shall thou be in the field, blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kin, the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. See? So we know now the curse is in the basket and the curse is in the store. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thy enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee seven ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and all that thou settest thy hand unto, and shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. But like I told you right now, you're under curse. So all these storehouses are being empty. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I told you them storehouses. Why? Because of the curse. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his way. Let me stop right there. Let me stop right there. What happened is that that's why these people say, well, thou shalt keep the commandment. That's why these people tell you that the Lord God has done away with the 10 commandments. And then the special commandment, the Sabbath day, they make sure that you keep the first day of the week and not the Sabbath day. Come on, man. You don't know these people are still against you. These are your enemies. Satan is in control of these people. And the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous and good in the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy ground, in the land which swear unto thy fathers to give thee. But they're not afraid of you now. Why? Because you haven't turned back in the bonds forever command. When you turn back in the bonds forever come, just like I told them. See, I'm waiting on them. Okay. The Lord already showed me what I could do. So all this foolishness they're doing going on, get back in the bonds forever covenant, and then you will see. Okay. The Lord shall open, well, let me see. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasures in heaven, to give the rain unto the land in the season, to bless all the work of thy hand. Thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. But thou shalt make thee the head and not the tail. Thou shalt be above only, and shalt not be beneath. If thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and do them. But you didn't do that. And so now what you are the tail, and they are the head, the false prophet. Well, I'm not going into that. But I'm just reading them to you. And thou shalt go aside from any of the, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to do the right hand, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what curses that would have. Curse should thou be in the city, curse should thou be in the field. So Israel's cursed. I don't care what city I went into, what field I was on, I was cursed. People didn't like me, they didn't want me to be around them, they didn't want me to be up under. Curse should thy basket, curse should be thy basket and thy store. So now you see the storehouse and all that becoming empty because you're cursed. Curse should be the fruit of thy body, abortions and everything that you have. Some of your women are barren. The fruit of thy land. So you see now that you're gonna have fruit and stuff rotting on the field, bugs and all things. The increase of thy kin and the flocks of thy field. So you don't have flocks. Well, now I'm getting there. But you should be cursed. Cursed should thou be when thou comest in. Cursed should thou be when thou goest out. So I mean, so when you come in. When you come in this in your house, your wife, and that's what he told you. So when you go read in the book of Hosea, oh man, I can't think of all the books now. But you go read the other books, and Lord God tell you, say your wife should have sex with another man. Go read it, man. Go read. And even if you and her married, when you get married to her, she's not a virgin. She already had somebody else. Man, come on, man. What you think the Lord God talking about? And then when you go out into these stores and everywhere to work and everything, and look how you've been treated. The Lord shall send upon these curses vexation, rebuke, and all that thou sittest All thou sittest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And that's what we had done. And that's why all this wickedness, that's why we're in captivity. That's why we're being treated so bad. But wait a minute, let's see. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until you have consumed thee from off the land where thou goest to possess. Thou shalt smite thee with a consumption, with fever, with inflammation, with the extreme burning, with the sword, with the blasting, with the mildew, and shall pursue thee until thou perish. And we just now know, I heard this man, this senator, this black senator, one of Israel's senators from South Carolina, and this man knew he ain't nothing but a gatekeeper. And he got on CBS News that morning, talk all that stuff. And God sent that blasting and mildew to South Carolina. Yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. I can't think of his name. It's a black senator. He probably the only black senator that they had. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he got up there and didn't give God the glory or none of that. When God sent one of them, sent that blasting and mildew to, the blasting to South Carolina. Well, let's finish reading. Yeah. Thou shalt smite thee with consumption, fever, and inflammation, with extreme burning, and with the sword. Even though the CRV, because I have a dream that said, remember the CRV was on the computer. And this the dreams, them dreams I had, those dreams was done at the end of last year. Now they didn't start coming to pass. Yeah. But anyway, this the Lord said, and you know all these things that's happening right now. And with the sword, so you know they got war coming on, the blasting with mildew and to pursue you until you perish. And you have, and the heaven that is over your head shall be brass, and the earth unto your feet shall be iron. And that means that you get no blessings. And those things that you think are blessings are not no blessing. You get sick of something, those things can't help you. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed until all the kingdoms of the earth. So you know that happened also. And thy carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air, the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray thee away. That's coming now. I mean, you have a lot of it going now, but not like I saw it. And the Lord was, Mom, when I saw the dung on the face of the earth. Man, I mean, it covered it. Yeah, I told you about it. Ain't nobody coming to get you, man. Ain't no 911 and cheering on these the healthcare workers. They ain't gonna be that. No, it's not gonna be that. You watch. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with scab, and with the itch, wherefore thou cannot be healed. The Lord will smite thee with madness, blindness, and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in the darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled forever, and no man shall save thee. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell in it. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather grapes. And all these things have came upon us, man. Ooh, have they didn't come. Thy ox should be slain before thy eyes, thou should not eat thereof. Thy ass should be violently taken away before thy face, and there should not restore to thee. Thy sheep should be given unto thy enemies, and thou have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters should be given unto other people, and thy eyes should look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there should be no might in thy hand. Now, you know that's slavery and everything, but that's just more than slavery and everything. Right now, you're looking at your men and women giving over to these strangers who the Lord God told you don't go with, don't have sex with, don't even be wild. And you see them, it's already on television every day. And also, you're seeing your children doing the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and shall be only oppressed and crushed away, just like them people in Israel right now, eating up your land, your fruits, and doing everything. And there's the main one, the people that say they're Jews but not, the main one that spread this all over the world. Got along, go read the book of Levi, the testimony of our father, and looked at these Edomites has gotten what Yeah, the Jews got the Edomites and they did all these things unto. Why? Because the law God permitted them to do it because what we did. We forsake the forever covenant. We did away with his commandments. Come on, man. We serving these idols and gods and running behind that thing. And the Lord God made it so wide to show you that he is God. And he can do everything, anything as he will. Yeah, your sons and daughters should be given unto another people to eye, and thy eyes shall look and fill with the longing for them all the day, and there shall be none might in thy hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be oppressed and crushed away, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. And that's what you're doing. You're mad at them Jews and everything, but it's not their fault. It's your fault because you refuse to what? Repent. You refuse to keep God's holy covenant. You refuse to keep God's holy Sabbath. You refuse to keep God's holy feast days. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and the legs and scorched by that can be healed for the soles of thy feet until the top of thy head. And another thing, you got so many people with knee problems, hip problems, leg problems, then that diabetes, which is the pestilence. Well, Lord shall bring thee in thy king, which thou shalt set over thee into a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. There shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. That's what you're doing. You're in these church houses, synagogues, sanctuary, high places, tabernacles, and what are they made of? Wood and stone. And you go in there and bring all your monies and everything. And these pastors and preachers that he didn't send them over them. Man, come on, man. Don't you see what the world... Thou shalt become astonishment, a proverb, a byword among all the nations where the Lord shall lead thee. And that's where you at. Thou shalt carry much seed out in the field and shalt gather but a little in. For the locust shall consume, and that's going on now. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather grape. For the worm shall eat that. So that's what's coming. I told you, man. That's coming up next. Telling you, man, got a whole lot of stuff coming up, not just that. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but shall not anoint thyself with the oil, for the olive shall cast his fruit. For thy olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, thou shalt not adjoin them, for they shall go into captivity. And well, it got a lot of captivity. They can go into captivity of drugs. Yeah, alcohol. They can go into a lot. Horeb. They can go into a whole lot of captivity. But I'm going to digress. All thy trees and fruits of thy land shall the locusts consume. The stranger that within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So we know that that's happened already. All these things have happened unto you, man. But he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and statutes which he command thee. And you're not doing it. Well, if you're doing it, then why are you still going to these houses of wood and stone, and you're still perishing? Why are you sitting up there with type 2 diabetes? Why are you sitting up there with your knees hurting and the inflammation in your body and your hands twisting for arthritis and everything? So why are these things come up on? But you're still going to church, you're still reading that Bible, but these things still coming up on you, man. When are you going to humble yourself, keep all God's commandments, and ask the Lord God to show me, Lord God, why are these things coming up on me? Why is this? I'm going to church, I'm reading the Bible, I'm still... And then he'll tell you and show you. You done broke my commandments. You don't keep my commandments. You don't keep my covenant. You're doing it the way you want to do it, and not the way I have commanded you. Not the way I told you to obey my voice. All right, well, let's see. Thou shalt send upon thee, thou shalt send, and they shall be upon thee for a sign. I don't know why I get down. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness, with gladness of heart, and abundance of all things. You're not doing it. You got what the Lord God told you would give to you, but what you want? You want what they, oh, I want the American dream. Okay, well, you keep on wanting it. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemy with the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger and thirst, and nakedness and the want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until you have been, till he have destroyed. And that's what he's talking about. Yeah, the oak of man, come on, man. You got the American dream you put on your neck, and you just run behind that. And when you think you have achieved that, you ain't achieved nothing. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far to the end of earth, as swift as an eagle flies, and you know whose symbol is the eagle. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce consonant which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And that's what I mean. I tell you, when I was coming up, they didn't show no favor. And they know they ain't showing no favor to me now as I'm getting older. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or increase of thy kin, or the flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed them. Man, it was one time, man, we lived in the neighborhood, man. I had cousins, aunts, and everything living in the neighborhood. Now, not anymore. He shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fence walls come down, whereas thou trusted throughout all thy land, shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God has given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, okay, and the flesh of thy own sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God has given thee, in the siege and the straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate eyes should be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, towards the remnant of his children which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children. My time is up. Yeah, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children to whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege and the strait where thy enemy should distress. And that was coming on now. And people don't understand. I told you it's going to get worse. They're not going to have no food, no nothing. Okay, well, I mean, you're going to have, let me go ahead. All right. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for the delicateness and the tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, towards her son and towards her daughter, towards the young one that cometh out from between her feet, towards her children which she bear. For she shall eat them for the want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thy enemy should distress thee in thy gate. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God. See? And then you got these people, all these other names and everything. The Lord thy God. The Lord will make the plagues wonderful, the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and a long continuance, and sore sickness, and a long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon these all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And you shall be left few in number, as we are today, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude. Eh? That's what we was. We're not that no more. And you shall be, yeah, man, it was time. Man, if you find somebody with 7 children, 8 children, man, you got a small household, man. You said 12, 14, 16 children, all that, man, all that. He told you he was going to do it, and he did it. And you should be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven, for the multitude, because thou wouldst not obey the voice of thy Lord thy God. And it should come to pass that as the Lord rejoice over you to do you good and multiply you, the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you, to bring you to naught. And you should be plucked from off the land where thou goest. And that all that's going to happen. All that's going to happen. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people, for one end of the earth unto the other. And there shall thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall thy soul of thy feet have rest. But the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. Man. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life. In the morning thou say, would God it were, yeah, in the morning thou shalt say, would God it were evening. Yeah. In the evening thou shalt say, would God it were morning. So that's what you're going to be saying. Yeah, in the morning you say, man, I wish it was evening. In the evening you say, man, I wish it was. For the fear of thy heart within thou shalt fail, for the sight of thy eyes thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto you. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there shall be sold unto your enemies for buymen and buywomen, and no man shall buy you. And that's, hey, bro, that's the Christians was up on you now. Now I've read this to before. But you gotta read the Testament of 12 patriarchs and find out what our fathers say. Our fathers told us that when we repent with our whole heart and start keeping all his commandments and enter back in the bonds forever covenant, that's when the Lord God can come back and take us from out of this place and take us out of this captivity and bring us back into the land that was promised unto us. Woo! The land that was covered unto us. And then after he do that, then he said he's going to destroy this whole earth for us. Yeah. The whole earth. I didn't see it, boy. I seen the whole earth, boy, and them two tiny places coming together and rolling it together like a scroll. Woo! The thing that the Lord God is showing that's coming on this earth. Woo! But the next thing, the last thing he showed me was the storehouse being empty. This is not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. And I am Elijah. Until next time.